Are you in the club?
Hey guys, this is Disney Cars Toy Club, and today I'm going to show you the Play-Doh Makeables, and this is going to be the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse version. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at everything and see what we got. And these of course come with these little Play-Doh tubes instead of cans. So we've got red, white, and orange. There's some black. And I'm thinking that's probably about all of it. There we go. Okay, so there's a lot more inside. So we've actually got two things of white Play-Doh. A darker orange, a lighter orange, red, blue, yellow. And here's the tools it gives you. It gives you 3 tools. So these are some Donald Duck feet. And these are some Mickey Mouse feet. And here's your little Play-Doh knife so you can cut it. And there are, looks like 2 cards here. So here's going to be the cone that you can make. And here's going to be the soccer ball you can make. Now if you've seen in our other videos where Rainbow Dash has a soccer match, this is kind of what we made for those. And on the other card, we've got Mickey Mouse. Shows you step by step how to build them. Looks like there's 12 steps. And here's Donald Duck. And there's 12 steps to do him too. Alright, so let's start with the soccer ball. It's something pretty easy. And you don't need any of the molds for this. So you should need just one of the tubes of white Play-Doh. Sometimes your Play-Doh splits like that. You want to make sure you press it in and get it all neat looking. Sometimes it's easier to roll them in your hand. The table kind of flattens it out. Alright, so there's our round ball Play-Doh. Check 1. Now, we'll take this Play-Doh knife. I'm going to cut some out. And I'm just going to roll this into a tube. And then we'll cut it up and then roll it into balls. Figured that'd be the fastest way of doing this. Okay, so there's our tube. So let's just cut it up. And that should be plenty of black Play-Doh. Starting to look like a soccer ball now. We might need a few more pieces of black Play-Doh, but we've got plenty. No, it looks like we're gonna have just enough to finish off the Play-Doh soccer ball. Yeah, I think that's plenty. So I'm gonna press it in to make sure that black Play-Doh sticks into it. And there you have our soccer ball. Now we just need Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck so they can play soccer. On the other side here, you can see that we got a cone with some stripes. That's gonna be pretty much the goal. So let's go ahead and make it, and it shows the darker orange Play-Doh for that. So this lighter orange Play-Doh is gonna be used for Mickey Mouse's face. So we'll open this up. Get our Play-Doh knife and let's cut out. I think that'll be good enough for a cone. And then we need a base. So I'm gonna kind of roll this to the top part of my hand. That way it shapes it into a cone. And this might be a little bit too much Play-Doh, but we're about to find out. All right, so there's our cone. You can see it splitting right there at the top, so make sure you press that in, because Play-Doh does not want to stick together once it starts splitting. All right, and now we're gonna figure out our base. I'm probably gonna use a Play-Doh knife to make the base. That way I can square it up. That should be pretty easy. There we go. So there's the base of it. And now all we need is 2 white stripes to go on it. So let's cut some of that out. And actually, I'm going to roll it all together and I'll just cut it down the middle. All right, so there are 2 white stripes. I'll wrap it around our cone and attach it on the other side. And the good thing about Play-Doh is if you didn't make it long enough, you can always kind of stretch Play-Doh out around the sides and make it work. There we go. So we've got our soccer ball and we've got our cone. Next up, we're gonna do our Mickey Mouse. I figure we might as well do the main character. And it doesn't have molds or cutouts for these pieces, so you gotta kind of make your own, which is, you know, doing most of the work yourself. So these kits don't come with everything you need. But it looks like a half-shaped circle. We'll do this first part. That one right there. I guess the main thing is to make them all proportionate. That way he's the same size. So I'm just gonna roll a ball out and then I'll flatten the bottom half of it. All right, so here's gonna be the bottom half of Mickey. This red. I'm not sure if I need to really flatten that out much more than it is. Let's shove this on and see how it works. All right, so it looks like we made the bottom half the right size. There is Mickey Mouse bottom. Next up, we need his top half, which is going to use a little bit. Let me make sure we don't have to use some black Play-Doh on Donald Duck. So you only need black Play-Doh for his eyes. So we can use majority of this for Mickey Mouse's bottom. And man, the Play-Doh that comes in these sleeves is always pretty dry instead of the tubs. The tubs seem to be sealed better. It doesn't, dry up like these, because you can notice when I roll it, it starts to split. Now, I don't know if we have enough black Play-Doh. Since we used a lot of black Play-Doh on the soccer ball, it doesn't appear that we're gonna have enough. So I'm gonna get some extra black Play-Doh, because one of these has got to be his head, one of these has got to be the bottom, and you still need more black Play-Doh to make both his ears. But we'll work on the bottom part first. And there you go. And I got some more black Play-Doh so we can make his head, and that's the next step anyways. And I'm not sure we're gonna be able to stick his head onto the stand like Donald Duck's unless I made him really teeny weeny, which I don't really want to do. So we're gonna see how well we can stick it to it. If not, you could use a toothpick to combine them all. Alright, so there you have his head. So now let's do his face. That way he can start looking a little different. And here's gonna be Mickey Mouse's face. And one last piece for his face. And then we can either stick on his ears next, or we can stick his eyeballs and buttons in. There's Mickey Mouse's face. So now let's do two little buttons. And now let's make him two eyes and a nose. And one thing I did notice is that it doesn't show Mickey Mouse having any pupils. You know, none of the white area in his eye, so I might make my own pupil and stick it in there and see how he turns out. There we go, there's Mickey Mouse's face. And let's slap on his ears first before I mess them up with some pupils. And these are pretty easy to make. Make you a round ball and kind of smash it. Let me get some more Play-Doh though. Mickey Mouse has some pretty big ears. Alright, so there's one ear. All right, Mickey Mouse, you've got both your ears now. And that turned out pretty good. So let me try the pupil real quick and see how that's gonna look. It might look kind of funky, but I figure why not? I don't know, that looks pretty good. He looks alive now. So there's Mickey Mouse with his white pupils. So our last one we have to do is Donald Duck. So let's put him together. Okay, so here's Donald Duck's. And it's basically the same thing except for his red little necktie here, or handkerchief, and his hat. So let's get started. Use the blue Play-Doh, and you can use, I don't know if I want to use all of that, but we're gonna make the bottom half of Donald Duck now. And I think it's easier just to roll it into a ball and then smash it together, because there's no point in you flattening out the bottom side. There we go. Now we're on to the white Play-Doh. And again, I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough because we need the bottom. Actually, I stuck it. Donald Duck has got a white bottom, then blue. So let's do the white on the bottom. There we go. Now Donald's looking a little better. Now let's make Donald's head with the remainder white Play-Doh, if it's enough. Looks like he's gonna have a small head. You know, I'm gonna get some more white Play-Doh because his head's not gonna be big enough. I mean, the soccer ball is about the right size. So I could have made the soccer ball smaller and then his head would have been bigger, but I'm just gonna use some more white Play-Doh. There we go. Okay, so Donald's head is the right size. Now all we got to do is make a beak. Alright, so there's Donald Duck's beak. We'll give him 2 eyes before we put the rest of them together. That way he can look around. I'm gonna make this one a little bit smaller. There we go. So there's Donald Duck and his eyes. Now, let's make the part of his hat and make a little bow tie or handkerchief. Alright, so there's his handkerchief or bow tie. And now, let's do the 2 part of his hat. And this should be pretty easy. I need to add a little more. It needs to be a little larger than the bottom part of it. There we go. Now we've got the top part of his hat. There's our Donald Duck. He's got his big beak on him. He looks pretty good. I might give him the same look as Mickey Mouse though, so you get a little bit of white Play-Doh to finish him up. Whoa, Donald Duck looks scary like that. So Donald Duck's a no-go. There we go, so just leave him alone like that. You don't want to add any of your extra eyeballs inside. So we've got Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and here's our soccer ball and cone, so you can have a soccer match between the two. Whoa, Donald Duck's falling apart already. All right, Donald, stay together. So you could have made a couple cones and you could kick it back and forth. Alright guys, that's it for our Play-Doh Makeables. Make sure you hit the like button. But for more Disney cars, Play-Doh, and surprise toy eggs, check out our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.